This is the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, and it reads, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. First and foremost, as always, just want to give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach, Kodash, which is all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten and anointed Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, in the Paleo Hebrew, when I utter Mashana, Kaboadium, Laha, Sequanium, Shal Gadawaraka, meaning double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the true shepherds of Israel, along with the like-minded Sequani wa Akim, across the four corners of the earth. Also pushing the sound doctrine, faith, truth, and sincerity, and Shalom, honor, salutation to Bayashadawadah, the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elected men, women, and children of Israel. It's your fellow servant, Malak Rayab. It's back at it, giving another epistle through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem and Shah by Shem Kakadash, and Adam Ratazadis be further edifying Zod into elect, within the spirit of prophecy, being a testimony of our Lord and Savior, Hamashek Habashai, in which these end time prophecies are taking place at that much more of a grand scale. In these perilous times, of these end times, of all these calamities taking place, including these random shootings, which are really, which are really preordained by Yahweh by Shem and Shai, okay? To be unleashed upon the wicked. These other strange calamities, such as these weather storms, plane crashes and car accidents and so forth, man. Like those Nigerian, I believe it was a few Nigerian bankers that died in a plane crash en route to looking to watch the Super Bowl, man. I mean, how about Shem and Shai claim their souls, man? All right. So these are the strange calamities that are part of these end time prophecies that continue to happen to the wicked. All right. Who marvel after this beast system, after the self-proclaimed white man and his satanic council. All right. Following his example by way of the satanic council. So on this first articles on NBC News is reported woman shot dead at Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration was a popular radio DJ. All right. It says Lisa Lopez Galvan co-hosted a weekly radio show on local station KKFI and KKFI 90.1 called A Taste of Tejano, played local weddings and promoted charity fundraisers. So she was most likely at Issachar, right? All right. Further confirms that, and further lines up with Deuteronomy 28, around the 66th verse. It says, we would have no assurance of our lives, okay, in our captivity. All right. Because we were not brought to Babylon the Great, the main place for our captivity, the place of drawing waters, America, meaning bitter, to enjoy the peace and prosperity with our oppressors, because their level of peace and prosperity is wickedness. Like it says in Isaiah 5:20, woe be unto thee who calls evil good and good evil. So evil is a place of Esau, Edom's refuge, and all those who marvel after this beast system. So they, as a default, following Esau's wicked instruction, have found a false sense or false perception of security in that darkness. That's why in First Thessalonians 5th chapter says what it says, how the people that sleep in the darkness, meaning what? These people are asleep in the evil time, and they love it so. Okay? And this is why judgment is continuing to happen to these people. So it says here, the person fatally shot at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory celebration Wednesday has been identified as police held 3 people in custody and sought answers over the culprits and motive behind the shooting. And the motive was judgment. Okay? All right, through the spirits of vengeance in Sirach, the 39th chapter of Yahweh by Shem and Shai. Okay? So it says the victim was named by her family as Lisa Lopez Galvan, a popular figure in the city's Hispanic community and beyond. You see that? Hispanic community. All right? So judgment is going to continue to happen upon 2/3 of our people for not seeking the wise counsel of the Lord in order to live, like it says in Proverbs, the 7th chapter, and 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. Says here, at least 21 other people were injured, 8 of them life-threatening, when shots were fired at about 2 p.m., authorities said. Central Time, authorities said. At least 11 of those injured were aged between 6, all right, and 15. Children's Mercy Hospital said. Okay, and here's more Freemasonic symbolism. 3 people have been detained by police in connection with the incident, though they have not been identified, the exact circumstances and motive behind the shootings remain unclear as the police investigation continues. So whether or not this is a psyop or not, Yahweh Shimon Shah is behind this judgment. Okay, because it's judgment nonetheless. All right. So that's a point on this article. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this similar article here. It's on ESPN. It says one dead, multiple people hurt after shooting in Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Now, jumping straight down to the point on what Sleepy Creepy Joe said. He said the Super Bowl is the most unifying event in America. Nothing brings more of us together. And the celebration of a Super Bowl win is a moment that brings a joy that can't be matched to the winning team and their supporters, Sleepy Creepy Joe said. For this joy to be turned to tragedy today in Kansas City cuts deep in the American soul. Okay? Exactly. So that joy was turned to tragedy. In lines of 1 Thessalonians 5:3, when they shall seek peace and safety, sudden destruction shall fall upon them. Okay? Because they put their trust in man, the man of sin and son of perdition, over the man of war, Abba Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. Okay? All right, who's the king of terrors. All right? So, all right, yeah, so that was the point there. So before I continue, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play a couple of segments from this news report in fair use. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start here.
In the garage area, near the garage, according to the Kansas City Police Department, a series of shots. Well, obviously, we have no motive. We don't. All we know is 2 armed men were taken into custody, and we have several people struck by gunfire. But this is the kind of thing, as the Justice Department warned us, Department of Homeland Security warned, the kind of event where people are vulnerable.
Absolutely, Terry.
See that? The kind of event where people are vulnerable. Okay, these public venues or these musical concerts, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. Okay, especially these sports events. All right, I remember back in like 2000, it was 2013, 2014, somebody was put to death in a movie theater watching a Batman movie. Okay, so this is America, like Childish Gambino said. This is America. Okay. This is American culture, death. Okay? That's it was lines of Psalm 94 chapter. Shall the throne of iniquity, that frame mischief by law, have fellowship with us? Roughly paraphrasing. He's framed mischief because this devil, Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, the man of sin and son of perdition by way of his blessing, the sword has perpetuated global carnality, especially in a national sense, through these moral decrees, like these gun laws, for example. Because there's at least 23 to 27 states out of the 50 in America, Babylon the Great, that permits open permitless gun laws. So this shit is all orchestrated, man. And then Biden has the audacity to say, well, how many more families should be torn apart? Well, this has all been orchestrated by you devils, man. You know what I'm saying? Like throwing a rock and hiding your hand, playing the victim when you are the perpetrator, man. So I'm going to continue.
2 scenarios that we're talking about here. Number one, law enforcement has been in a heightened state of alert in general ever since the conflict in Israel and between Israel and Hamas. They have said repeatedly, over and over, that the threat environment is toxic right now, that you have various groups calling for violence, rise in anti-Semitism, rise in attacks against the Muslim community. That is what we're dealing with currently. So
see that, and see this is the narrative that Esau is pushing in his Western propaganda and satanic media outlets in the West. Okay, pushing hatred, inciting hatred. Okay, and it's further centered around the whole migrant surge / border crisis situation where they're allowing the invasion of these nations through the border. Okay. Including Jake, which a majority of those people are mercenaries. Okay, just like down there in Osteen's church, they were saying it was a transformer that had some anti-S propaganda written on a weapon. Man, we've seen that shit before, like that manifesto from that Edomite shooter down there in Buffalo. He has similar propaganda on his rifle. So this is all orchestrated by this devil. Whether these people are on the MK Ultra or not, whether it's whatever the case may be. Okay, the stage is set for the downfall of this current monetary system. Okay, that's further confirms that America is finished. Okay, this is the modern day bloody city, the modern day Assyrian Empire, Nahum, the 3rd chapter. And by blood, how she was established is how she shall fall. Okay, by violence, like it says in Revelation 18 chapter. Okay, mainly by their enemies. Okay, and this is why Speaking of which, let me get that article. Okay. Says here on U.S. News and World Report, Russia and China clashed with U.S. and U.K. over attacks on Yemen rebels for strikes and Red Sea ships. So meanwhile, this internal civil conflict continuing to spiral out of control in America, Babylon the Great. All right, to intensify anyway. Um, this is a further insight of the global destruction, the global conflict that's going to result in the destruction of America by America's enemies. Okay, by ruling over these nations with rigor through the sword, like it says in Isaiah the 14th chapter, roughly paraphrasing. All right. Yep. Russia wants to deploy a nuclear weapon in space to destroy Western satellites. U.S. fears. Okay. So these things are happening, man. Then there was another situation that took place where a pipeline, an Iranian pipeline, was destroyed. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. That all leads up to what's going on right now, and that's the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. Um, let's see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll just go ahead and move forward. Been covered in another lesson. Um, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Now, this is going into the topic of this epistle. It says transformer people are being canceled at an alarming rate, especially in the South. See that? There's a propaganda pushing out there. Okay, hatred. Okay, fear. Okay, the fear of national security being compromised. You see? So once again, the stage is set. All right. Okay, it's on the Associated Press. 3 officers shot in Washington while attempting to make an animal cruelty arrest. See? My lines were 2 Ezra 15 and 16. Going to the sedition amongst men, how they would not regard their kings nor princes. Okay? Including those who follows their counsel, like it says in Sirach 10, verses 1 and 2. Okay? And they're dealing with the law enforcement and whatnot. And that leads me to this last part I'm going to play in this report.
Anytime there's any kind of large scale event, they are putting out notices reminding local police to keep that in mind. Now, separate and apart from this, where we don't yet know the motive here in terms of why this took place, it's the general issue of so many people, including criminals, and so many people with tempers, and so many people with mental health issues having access to weapons. It literally means that wherever you have people, you have the potential for gun violence. And that's what we have here at minimum. Authorities are obviously hoping that it's a limited amount of people injured. We still don't have concrete details on that just yet. But again, here you have a celebratory event. People talking about the most watched Super Bowl. Their beloved Chiefs won it, the Super Bowl, dynasty in the making, and suddenly that celebration with children and all sorts of people happily there now running for their lives in some cases after they hear that very clear sound of gunfire.
And that's spiritual because the Chiefs are otherwise known as the Red Kingdom. And he just mentioned a dynasty in the making, right? See, this is Esau's mentality, a dynasty in the making, the satanic new world order agenda, then destruction comes. So that's another omen. Okay? So now I'm gonna jump over here to this last part of this report. Now listen to what this Sheetamite says. I'm going to start it around the 144-minute mark. Okay? Through the spirit.
Yes, we as a society have seemed to lose our collective minds, and we bring guns in places that they don't belong, and we use violence to solve our problems or to express our frustrations. And we don't know the details here. But we certainly can describe the environment that we have been living in for 9 or 10 years now, where we are in an epidemic of mass attacks. that are perpetrated for a variety of reasons, some with very cohesive ideological motives, some with no discernible motive whatsoever, and some are just spillover violence of individuals who are angry for some reason. And when you're in that very difficult threat environment, it is just an impossible scenario for law enforcement. They I thought the police chief did a wonderful job of pointing out how well prepared they were, the number of law enforcement that were on the scene, and that they were running towards the threat. I mean, that's especially after Uvalde, where we did see law enforcement failure. It's important to point out how frequently our law enforcement officers are the ones running towards the threat. They are trying to protect the public. And yet this keeps happening, and it does remind all of us that this is a society-wide problem that we can't just rely on law enforcement to fix for us.
So you heard that? She said we can't just rely on law enforcement to fix this for us, and this is what I'm talking about. New gun legislation, laws, and so forth. Essentially, suggesting gun reform laws. Okay, and this is what what's the name? Um, the local El Paso politician Beto O'Rourke was talking about. Removing people from their guns. This is all a part of Esau's New World Order. Including resistance. To limit that resistance. Okay, so part of that aspect of the agenda would be to pursue the implementation of martial law, and they're eventually going to do that, man. And that's why they have National Guard around the borders. Okay, especially down here in Texas. Okay, so the stage is set, man, and it's further insight that this system is getting ready to collapse. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue back in 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And speaking of which, here's this article. Speaking of children, right? This is on NBC News. It says 4 students shot outside Atlanta High School. None of the 4 shot from a vehicle had injuries that were life-threatening, the school district said. 4 students leaving an Atlanta high school were wounded Wednesday when someone opened fire on them from a vehicle, the school district said. The students were shot at the lower campus parking lot outside Benjamin E. Mays High School, to the spirit, Benjamin, okay, shortly after dismissal. Atlanta Public Schools said none of the 4 had injuries that were considered life-threatening, according to the district. All right, so another school shooting, man, just like Uvalde, like the shooting I mentioned, man, where multiple children were put to death, mostly Northern Kingdom children. Okay, so you had that situation take place. All right, so I'm gonna go back to and then I'm just going to get this precept. I'm going to continue. 1 Thessalonians 5:4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. All right, to be circumspect of these evil times we're living in. All right. So it says here, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night, and drunk off that wine of fornication, that Western philosophy. All right, believe in the Esau Satanic Council. That's why people go out there and vote. All right, and they believe in these sports events, which are which are really rigged events to push their agenda. Okay, and that's been further exposed. So because this further confirms that America is a pipe dream. It's a matrix. It's of the matrix, man. All right. 1 Thessalonians 5:8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. Okay. Because our measure of faith is what's going to save us by rehearsing righteous law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh by Shem Yashai. Okay. To be deemed worthy enough to be under the shadow of the wings of his salvation. Okay. From all hurt, harm, and danger. Okay. As opposed to these people whose names written in the earth. Okay. Completely out here vulnerable, like it says in Ezekiel the 9th chapter. All right. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 5. And it says, whoso keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. All right. because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. All right, so no one knows the time. No one knows what time. No one knows. Like that's why Yahushua said in St. Matthew the 6th chapter, make no thought of the morrow. Okay, make no thought of what tomorrow brings. Okay, because that really goes into pride. Because we don't know. You know, we don't know what the day brings for us, man. Because Yahweh, at any given point, Yahweh Shemashah could take us out. And this is what separates those with the spirit of discernment and the fear and measure faith of Yahweh Shemashai appointed unto them from the vast majority of the world who has a false perception of the Most High, who thinks that he just accepts every nation and creed. Okay, he just accepts all manners of wickedness, and you can just, you can just proclaim your so-called love for the Lord, okay, and hypocrisy, and expect him to spare you from judgment. All right, and this is why these people in trick bag within Esau's wine that they're drunk off of. Ecclesiastes 8:7 says, "For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it." See? Okay, wickedness is not going to save us, man. And these people, whether unbeknownst to them or not, have trust in the wickedness because they trusted in rulers of the darkness of this world and their lower luminaries like these presidents and prime ministers and politicians and, news anchors and celebrities and so forth. Further doing the bidding of Shaitan, man. Okay. This is Sirach chapter 36. And then I'm going to go ahead and start at verse 6. And it says, "Shew new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy." So these strange wonders are bringing wrath upon these people, man. Okay, and that's why in the book of Habakkuk, I believe in the 3rd chapter, it says, "Remember mercy, O Lord, Yahweh by Shemashai, in the day of your wrath." Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so speaking of strange calamities bringing wrath, let me go ahead and get this information here on Twitter, on X. It says, breaking, this happened yesterday. It says, a vehicle has driven through an emergency room at a medical center with multiple injuries reported. Currently, numerous law enforcement and other emergency personnel are on the scene in Austin, Texas, okay, which is about a 7 to 8 hour drive away from here, where I'm at. It says after a vehicle had driven through inside the emergency room at the St. David's North Austin Medical Center, EMS officials estimate there are between 20 to 49 patients, with reports of 11 people injured. They are categorizing it as a level 4 mass casualty incident, and police are urging people to avoid the area. This is still developing. Now, this is what I really want to focus on in this article. This is on this POX platform. Now, this is what people were saying. It says, it reminds me a lot of the subway train incident in NYC. Same type of camera movements, people moving but not really going anywhere. And it also reminds me that they may be talking about the incident that took place, I believe it was in the Bronx, where there was a shooting down there somewhere. Okay, there's also shooting in Greece. So this global calamity is taking place by way of he who has increased wickedness in the earth through his wine. Okay, and that's Esau, Edom. Now it says here, so it said they always tell us before they do something evil, exactly, or the abkeo, Hegelian dialectic. All right. Apparently there's a Masonic rule. All right. Now here's a point. Somebody said, I was thinking the same thing. The way the people were moving did not look natural, looked forced, like they were acting, because we know that, those in the know understands, a lot of these psyops, okay, have these crisis actors. Okay. Some of them are horrible, and some of them sell it well enough to where they can fool people, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay. So somebody said, saw this on the news as we were out eating. So this man was with his wife out eating, and this is what he had to say. He said, my wife and I thought it was weird how they kept reporting on it for a long time. Like they wouldn't move past that and report on something else. It was just a car crash. Now, mind you, the whole Kansas City shooting took place. So why are they focusing on this? Okay. You see? because they are, it's a part of Esau's conditioning to further condition the minds of the vast majority of the simple, okay, into having fear inside in their hearts, okay, to further lean on him. You see, so he could present the solution, which is a chip that's mark of the beast, man. Okay, the next major prophecy before those nukes start flying. All right, so all the stage is set by the ultimate chess player, Abanawa Yahweh. Okay, and this is why these things are happening. So we're back in Sirach 36 and 7. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath, take away the adversary, and destroy the enemy. And this is happening by way of these strange wonders. And that reminds me of Sirach chapter 10, verse 13. And it reads, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord, Yahweh by Shemeshai, brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. You see? Because the Heavenly Father is the ultimate creator and very creative in judgment. Okay? Further confirms that man's goings of the Lord. All right? So this is back in Sirach 36 and verse 8. And it reads, make the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. And this is why these times are speeding up, man. I woke up yesterday a little before 8. I was telling some coworkers at the plantation, man. I woke up before 8. The next thing I know, I look at the time. It's damn near 1 o'clock, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, like I said, St. Matthew 24 chapter, Yahweh by Shemeshai speeding up the times for his elect's sake to redeem us from these curses, to deliver us from the hands of our enemies, these lawless enemies, like it says in Prayer of Rosaria, around the 8th or 9th verse. Okay, because because Yahweh by Shemeshai loves his children, man. Okay, no one loves them more than Yahweh by Shemeshai. It's in the 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, and Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter. This is Sirach 36 and 9. Let them that escape be consumed by the wrath. So let them that escape be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. You see, like it says in Amos, the 5th chapter, how you may escape the lion just to meet a raging bear, to escape that bear just to meet a venomous snake, roughly paraphrasing, meaning what? Symbolic of everlasting judgment, okay, to the wicked. That's why there's no peace to the wicked. Like it says in Isaiah 48 and 22. All right. So this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 7. And it reads, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils, which means terrors, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. And this is the first fruits, the elect. This is who the prophets of Yahweh by Shemeshai go out to fish for, pursuing in Jeremiah 16th chapter. Okay. All right. To seal them. Okay. Which is what we're being used for. Because we are the mouthpiece of Yahweh by Shemeshai. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 8. Verse 8, it says, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. See? And that lines with 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, how many miseries shall be done in these people in these last days because they dwell in pride. Okay? The pride of life, through sexual liberty. Okay? The liberty, to be gluttonous. And this is what these holiday events and Super Bowl events and live sports events and public sports events and so forth give off the satanic vibration of, man. Okay, self-glorification, self-worship, self-idolatry. Okay, instant gratification. Okay, by being gluttonous. Okay, worshiping Esau's Greco-Roman god Bacchus, the god of wine and ecstasy. See, this is all the madness these people are indulging in without realizing it for them, collectively. Because a lot of these people don't know what they're doing. But that's no excuse because the prophets Yahweh by Shemeshai are here. And there's really no excuse to Jake, all right? Israel, the only people that matter to the Lord. The rest of you nations can do what the hell you want because you have no salvation anyway. Okay? So all you Edomites and so forth are put to death All right, and at these shootings, public shootings and whatnot, and these, other strange calamities, your demise is justified, man. Because there's no salvation for any other nation outside of Israel. Second Ezra 9 and 10. For such as in their life have received the benefits and have not known me. You see, all right. Through these government assistance programs, all right. These Hollywood record contracts that Jake signs and people in general selling their souls for fame to sit at Satan's table. You see, so that further confirms the man of this world is of death. All right, which is the reward for the wages of sin. It's in Romans the 6th chapter. All right. So I believe that was it. Let me see if I had any other articles here. No, I believe that was it. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it off on that note and pray this epistle further edifying, exhorting to the elect. And this is what I was looking for. Blast hit a natural gas pipeline in Iran that an official says was an act of sabotage. See, just like the Nord Stream 2 pipeline that Putin mentioned that was compromised and destroyed by the CIA. So you devils being exposed, man. And another thing too. Okay, the more we know you're trying to silence us. Okay, through censorship. Another ensign of what the family of the word. Now, as you can see here, it says 88 followers. Now, before I started this epistle, it said 85 followers. Now, a few days ago, I had 122 followers. Okay, then a few days ago, it went from 122 followers to 77 followers. Okay, now when I check my profile, my alerts, there's no new subscribers. So that further confirms this devil is fabricating our numbers. So, you Akim, this is further exhortation to the Akim that that believe that may not that may believe that not too many people are watching. It further confirms that more people are watching us than we think. Okay, another reason why we shouldn't get caught up on these views and likes and shit, because it's all folly anyway. And in case in point, these devils also have the capability of blocking people from commenting, and I've been informed of that a few times. So either way, like it says in Isaiah 55:11, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, should not go out void. And and this word is tearing you devils up. Okay, that's why the beloved priest Mahaloy from Missouri, I believe the brothers in Kansas City, okay, was going into an epistle where AI, based off an AI generated image of a Jake with an afro and a woolly beard, okay, being encountered by martial law troops while sitting on his couch reading a Bible, and that further confirms that the insurrection of the saints is going to happen very soon, man. Because all these end time prophecies are happening where the wicked shall slay the righteous, like it says in the book of Psalms, man. And once you do, Yahweh Shemashah is gonna lift up that standard against you devils, man. Okay? Because we are your true threat to the satanic New World Order agenda. And that's why we know you're coming for us, man. And the sooner the better, so we can get this shit over with. Stop kicking the goddamn can down the road with your rusty boot and get this shit cracking already, man. Okay? But we understand that even though we want you devils to move now, we understand that man's going to the Lord, and it's all within it's all within the will of Yahweh Shemashai when He finally gives you devils a green light to do what you got to do. All right, and then it's going to be over for you soon after that. So I'm going to go ahead and give all praise, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is the God of living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahamashah, Yahushai, Baruch. What Ashua gave me the spirit to do this video. To praise further edifying and exhorting to the elect and condemning and founding to the wicked. And with that, my Wathla Babal, and Shalom to the elect of Israel, scattered across the four corners of the earth. All right? Shalom.